You gonna eat? Are you guys looking for asparagus? Is that what you're looking for? So the grand dogs just left with my daughter. They were so happy to leave. I know they're happy when they're here, but they also couldn't wait to leave. She kind of spoils them, and they get to sleep in her bed, and they don't get to do that at my house. So I'm making my breakfast, and I wanted to show you the mug my daughter got me on her little short trip to St. Louis. I guess she's been paying attention to the fact that I'm looking at the birds and feeding them now. I didn't really need another mug, so I decided to get rid of one. This is going in the thrift store box. There's a couple of little oak trees. So I hadn't planned on really working outside, but then I decided to pull up the flowering kohlrabi out of the one bed, and I sprayed all the remaining kohlrabi and the cabbage in there, because despite my insect netting, there are still all kinds of bugs in there, flying insects. I don't know what's eating them. I looked for cabbage worms and I didn't see any. There's a lot of roly-poly bugs, pill bugs, whatever you want to call them, in there. So I don't know if they're the ones eating it. I didn't see any slugs, so I'm not really sure. But I sprayed them with an organic spray. I got a few asparagus. I'm going to eat these for my lunch, along with some droopy kohlrabi leaves that I'm going to saute. I also have some poke salad leaves. So poke salad is, I'm sure a lot of you, some of you that live in the south of the US will know that it's okay to eat these when they're young, before the berries start forming. Otherwise, they're very toxic, and they're toxic to animals too. I have it wild growing everywhere, so, and my daughter really likes it, so if she happens to be here and it excuse me, and it's growing, she always wants me to fry up some for her, and I'll make some so you can see. It's very easy. I need a drink of water because my throat is scratchy. So anyway, the berries of the pokeweed apparently were used by Native Americans to dye their fabrics. And I think the early settlers did it too. I don't know if it's still used. If you Google it, the use of pokeberries, it does say they're used to dye fabric, candy, wine, which I thought was interesting. I think you have to boil it to get the toxins out maybe, because otherwise I would think that they would be too toxic to eat, ingest. So I'm gonna have a mostly veggie lunch. I think I'm gonna pull out some of the mussels though that I bought, just a few if I can. And somebody said that I should saute the radishes, so they're not so peppery. So I'm gonna chop this up, this one, and I'm gonna cook it with the kohlrabi leaves and see how it is. So I think I'm going to pull the leaves off the big part of the stems. Just put that out in the garden, the stems, the thicker stems. I have a little bit of avocado oil, a tiny sliver of butter, and then about a half a teaspoon of garlic. The asparagus, I'm just coating in oil and I'm gonna air fry it. So it looks like the kohlrabi leaves are about done. I think I'm going to take the mussels out of the pan and cook them in the microwave. So the asparagus and the kohlrabi radish are done. I've washed the poke salad and I have some flour and cornmeal mix. Probably didn't need to add the flour, but I did. So I am going to put the wet, I might get this a little wetter, because I don't want to waste an egg. I don't want to use an egg on this just for this little bit of poke salad. Normally you would dip it in egg and then in the cornmeal mixture. So I have a little bit of oil in my pan and you just saute it. I think a lot of people used to use bacon grease, but I don't have bacon grease, so. I'm gonna taste the radish. The spiciness did come out, so maybe I'll be able to eat my radishes. Kohlrabi is good. Asparagus. So good. All I did was put oil on the asparagus, nothing else at all. And the poke salad, Mm. Delicious. Okay. Let me eat my totally dried out mussel. Other than it being totally dried out, it's good. It's okay. I'm glad I didn't try to cook the entire thing. Next time I'll cook it on the stove, like I started to do. The flavor is still there, so I'm good. So I thought today was gonna rain most of the day, but it hasn't. Of course, in about 45 minutes it's supposed to have a 70% chance of raining. My hair is, the old gray hair does not like the humidity. It's just frizzing out. So my plan today was to saute up a bunch of mushrooms and onions before they go bad. I have one onion left and part of another one. I waited too long to do something with this carrot, so it's going in the compost. And I still have some spinach and arugula that starting to look really bad, so it's going in the garden too. I waited too long on this. Oh, it's slimy. I also have one apple left. I think I'm going to turn it into, I think I'm going to cook it with some cinnamon, chop it up, and use it for my oatmeal day after tomorrow. Tomorrow's an omelet day. Tomorrow I have a doctor's appointment early, so I'll be eating my breakfast kind of late in case they want to do labs. So the mushrooms from the Asian market that are starting to get a little brown on top, I'm going to saute all these up with all these mushrooms. They still look good, but I'm going to go ahead and saute them because I know how I am. I don't want these to shrivel up and go bad. So I'm just going to saute them up. I might freeze a little bit of them, maybe half of them after I saute them. That way I don't have to try and eat them all at once, and I can take them out and use them in an omelet or something later. So that's what I'm going to do right now. That's what I planned to do because I thought it was going to rain. It is starting to get cloudy. Yeah. Tomorrow is supposed to be scattered showers. So when I come back from my appointment, hopefully I can go ahead and plant my sweet potatoes and maybe a few other things. I didn't remember this, but apparently I have some small sweet peppers that are out there that I didn't notice before where I started them. I guess because they were so small. There's a few in a pot. Let me... 2 bell peppers. They're bell peppers. I thought they were little. They're all bell peppers. Okay. So they're all bell peppers. I thought they were the little sweet peppers. I think I only had one of those. And the rest are bells. Oh well. So I'm going to have like 7 bell pepper plants. I'm going to have a freezer full. I still haven't even eaten all the bell peppers from last year. Usually, last year was the only year that I had a good supply of bell peppers. I had, I think, 6 plants, maybe 6, possibly 7. Most of them were in one little 4-foot bed, and one was on the patio, the one that I saved, overwintered, and put out in the new bed. And they all produced so many peppers. I was picking them, and I was hoping they would get red. You know, when they mature, they turn whatever color, purple, red, yellow, or orange. But the 1 or 2 that I let go completely red were bug infested. So I just started picking them all green. So I'm hoping the little mix, the one little mix that I have, will provide me with some colorful peppers other than green. Hopefully they're small enough and will mature quicker and before the bugs get them. So anyway, it looks like I'm gonna possibly have a ton of bell peppers again this year. Oh well, I do like them. It was just a little ridiculous, especially since here we are in almost May. It's April 30th today. And I still have bell peppers in the freezer from last year. It's insane. Most of the years I may be lucky to get 1 or 2 bell peppers off whatever few plants that I have, because they wouldn't produce. And I think because it was so dry last year and I had to water with my hose, I think the dryness helped those and the eggplants. And I still have no sprouted eggplants. So I think I'm going to go somewhere and buy some eggplants, unfortunately. So I'm gonna get these mushrooms and onions sauteed up and the apples cooked. I'm just cooking them with a little butter and a little cinnamon, nothing else. Well, the mushrooms and onions are chopped up. I'm glad I decided to do this because not only were the mushrooms starting to go off, but the onions look like they were about to too. The one onion, the big onion. The apples are done. So are the mushrooms and onions. I'm probably gonna eat a little bowl of these because it looks so good and smells so good. I'm gonna let them cool down, and then I will put the apples in the fridge, put the mushrooms and onions mostly in the freezer, I think. So once again, I have an itchy rash after being out in the garden. So I decided to do a search. I started on a new medication a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago or longer. I think in the fall of last year. Levothyroxine for my thyroid. I have an underactive thyroid, and it can increase your sun sensitivity, can also apparently cause a rash. So an itchy rash, which is what I've been having since going out and working in the garden. Oh, someone talked to my doctor about it. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. I think I'm just gonna have to live with it because can't quit taking the medication, not gonna stop gardening or going out in the sun. So it just is annoying. It's usually right in this area. Sometimes my arms have been itching for a while. It's just another thing to have to deal with. So I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I am going to try and get to bed early tonight, earlier than normal for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video so I can edit it and put it out instead of waiting until the early morning hours and then I don't get to bed like I'm supposed to. It's only 6:38, but yeah, if I don't start now, I'll be up all night doing it. So thank you all for watching. Take care. Hopefully we don't get too many storms tomorrow and I can work out in the garden because I have so much to plant. I also need to go find some eggplant. Y'all take care. Bye.